And we're back to absolutely deleting people. I'd forgotten how much I loved actually contributing to combat. So, while Alex is off having the time of her life back in the Plaguelands, Ari's back home having a fun little adventure of her own. Just outside of Teldrassil lies the shaded forest of Darkshore, a land plagued by the corruption of Felmoss. Or at least the Furbolg are. I don't know what the hell's going on with these bears. They're just, I don't know, going through it or something. Hello, I'm Alex, and welcome to Hardcore Loremaster, a series where I strive to complete every quest within Hardcore World of Warcraft, all within the course of a single life. As we venture through the untamed wilds of Darkshore to find the sources of corruption, we'll find ourselves fighting all sorts of beasties. Stuff like crazed moonkin, a handful of demons, Naga, Furbolg, and non-presidential MAGA cults. We really out here trying to make Azeroth gay again. But actually, I think I could actually get behind that. As we come to find out, Teldrassil has a rather strange effect on the local wildlife. Various creatures were much larger than they'd otherwise be. This, unfortunately, wasn't just limited to the tree itself. As we bring a shipment of fish to Aberdeen, our hub town down here in Darkshore, Laird can't help but notice that these fish are all nearly twice as large as what they'd caught here in the mainland. However, not all of these aquatic critters are staying within the bounds of the newly grown tree here. Gwyneth Bly Legond is here on behalf of the Temple of the Moon in Darnassus to investigate why various sea creatures are beaching themselves along the coast in increasing numbers. All along Darkshore's coast, giant creatures dot the shore, some of them looking like the threshers we've seen in the ocean here, while others are giant turtles. Some even have little huts on their backs, and I've always thought that they were like early nods to the Pandaren, but apparently they're all Naga structures. Today I learned, I guess. Though, as we gradually bring more and more of these specimens back, we steadily come to conclude that, for whatever reason, these creatures are running away from Teldrassil. Being in close proximity to the tree allows them to grow much larger than usual, though the very same influence is also eventually what turns them away. Or at least, that's what I got from it. There's not really a nice definitive conclusion, at least not that I know of. And while on the topic of fish in the ocean and whatnot, Darkshore has a good handful of fishing quests. Thinking back, I don't really think Alex had much of any fishing quests. Night elves are just built differently, I guess. Once we get to Darkshore, Darkshore? What the fuck? Hey you ever been to Darkshore? Once we get to Darkshore, your boy Gubber Blump is staring off into the sunset. Lad's out here dissociating like the rest of us. He shares with us his love for fishing and asks for us to fish with him and catch some Darkshore grouper. If we do, he'll even hand us an official Blump family fishing pole. Lad makes it sound so important, like it'll just straight up be signed by everybody in the family. But the lad only needs 6, so surely this won't take all that long. 10 minutes later, I'm going to cry. One mental breakdown later, and we've got ourselves a brand new fishing pole. Just in time to use it for another fishing quest. Yay. Inside of the inn, our little gnome friend here, Whizbang Crank Toggle, needs several things from us. He lost some gaffer jacks out at sea, and we're to fish them up again. Aside from that, he's also been working on his latest invention, the Buzzbox. It allows for long-distance communication, but they also require constant maintenance, apparently. With a nice little grocery list to stuff into these buzz boxes, we're sent on our way. And wait, what the hell are gafferjacks even? I guess little gnome doohickeys for their little contraptions? I don't know, man. One by one, we turn our materials into these buzz boxes. It's really strange shit too. Like, what sort of maintenance needs crawler legs or thresher eyes? Moonstalker fangs? Bear scalps? What the fuck kind of machines are you making, my guy? Turns out, we've been had. Again. Lad's just been turning all of this shit into booze. Somehow. I have so many questions, but I really don't think I want any answers. Let's just, get this fishing over with. 10 more minutes later. I'm actually going to lose it. Returning our gaffer jacks to ya alcoholic boy, he now needs us to fish up yet another thing from the river north of here. Some electropellers for his self-propelled exploding duck decoy. What? Why do you need... Never mind, just... I should know better than to even ask at this point.
Alright, are you ready?
I'm so ready. I can't wait.
Oh wait, I got it! The fireworks! Look!
Oh wow.
Just like old times. And now finally we've got all of our fishing done. Remind me to never fish again. Please. But anyways, it looks like Bubba Gumps here got another thing for us. I love crab. Crabs are the fruit of the sea. You can bake it, barbecue it, boil it, and broil it. They're pan-fried, okay,
deep-fried,
awesome. We'll
stir-fried,
just come back and do that later. Cause I mean, like, there's a lot of other stuff we really should be doing right now, like looking into some strange red crystal in the mountains not too far from here. According to Sentinel Glinda Nalshea, the once gentle moonkin in the area have been growing increasingly hostile, and she believes that this crystal is to blame. Somehow. They're indeed rather violent, as the instant any of them see us, they're immediately on our ass. We even have to use our little timberling friend just to survive. A moment of silence for you, boy. He'll be missed. Oh, wait, what was his name again? In getting closer to the mountains, we can confirm that the crystal does indeed exist and find out a fun little mechanic I had no idea about. So some of these boys are linked to each other in the sense that if you pull one, you're actually pulling both of them. This is why we had to use our Twiggy boy before, and God, this is sketchy as fuck. Straight up horror game vibes with the moonkin off in the distance immediately turning to run at us. Though back at Aberdeen, Glinda would like us to investigate further and take some of the Moonwell water here to pour over the crystal. Somehow the potent magic of the Elune Bath water should provide us with some clues. However that'll work. Man, I don't know how this magic shit works, I'm just here. Suffering. Pouring this water over the crystal, we then find fragments of bone inside, including a humanoid jaw. At least, we would've if we didn't get sketched out and immediately turn and run. Those moonkin are scary, dude, you don't even know. Similar to us, Glinda's only left with more questions than answers. But at least we made progress in learning about the crystal. Kinda. While there's more corruption in the forest to take care of, there's a couple of issues a bit closer to home that get our attention first. Specifically the twin ruins of Bashalaran and Ametharan. Initially, we're told of their existence by Thunderous Windweaver, as he's curious of a specific shrine at Bashalaran. Although the ruins are overrun by demons, there's one shrine in particular that none of them will even approach. Surely there's a reason behind this, so we're sent in to investigate. Detective Ari is on the case. In exploring the ruins, we come across the trapped spirit of Astarian Baldur's Gate. Apparently, our presence could be considered an improvement, and that's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me. Well, our vampire husband is being held here through magic, and he's sure that he might be able to find a trace of it through the Grell's jewelry. So, since they're unlikely to part with it willingly, we'll just After asking politely for 8 of these, your boy looks them over, only to find that it's the moonstone seal that the satyr possessed that he's looking for. With that in our possession, we're now to head to the other ruin south of here to destroy it over the ancient flame there, at the ruins of Ametheron. Now, while we were back in Aberdeen, Thundress had also mentioned coming down here for various highborn relics. They must be collected so that they can be ultimately destroyed. A lad by the name of Cerulean Whiteclaw had also asked us to free the spirit of his beloved, Anaya Dawnrunner. Lacking the heart to do it himself, we're to set her spirit to rest. In a completely non-violent way, I assure you. As we approached these ruins, we had come across a sentinel that had been sent here to study the various tablets detailing the fall of Metheran. While she was looking, the spirits all around had chased her off, and she'd really like it if we could go ahead and find these tablets in her place. I mean, sure, why not? We'll just go in and stab a couple of ghosts, and can you even stab a ghost? The answer is yes. Only they're unable to bleed for, I guess, obvious reasons when you think about it. Unless your name is Anaya, then I guess you're just built differently, I suppose. She's just out here bleeding like ectoplasm or something, fuck if I know. But these tablets we find both give us a bit of a lore dump in the ruins here, but let's just get to the SparkNotes version of it. Both Bashalaran and Ametheran were built upon the shore of this well of eternity, both having the touch of Queen Ashara in their creation. She'd brought the Highborn here, placing Athricus Narasen to govern them, though he spent much of his time within his Tower of Althalax. His second in command was Astarion, who traveled the Twin Cities attending to the needs of the people. The cities were able to prosper as the world around them slowly began to fall to madness. Within this chaos that soon followed in the War of the Ancients, everything they'd built had toppled to the ground. Athricus, however, devised a plan to save them all, a spell to give them eternal life free from the sundering that was to come. Even after perishing, they'd all still have life eternal. While still in these ruins, the last thing we've got to do is destroy this ancient moonstone seal, and it's back to Astarion to see if he's freed. As we get back to our boy, he's indeed free from the magic that bound him here, and although freed, he feels as though his former master and jailer, Athricus, still lives. So that's definitely going to be a plot point later, isn't it? But emphasis on later. Getting these relics back to Thundress, he vows to destroy them, feeling as though he can still feel traces of highborn magic within them. And at this point, we hit level 16, huzzah! Since we hate ourselves, our completionist ass went all the way back to Dolinar and Teldrassil just to talk with Janok and get his little breadcrumb quest leading us to Aryan Shade Whisper in Darnassus. Apparently, the SI-7 in Stormwind has asked for us by name. You can tell this lad means business by the Sword of Darkness just lying casually on the table. Like, what's that doing here? Since running through the wetlands to get to Stormwind at this level is a death wish, how about we just get back to some of that there corruption back in the Darkshore? The corruption within the forest didn't end with just the Moonkin, unfortunately. Tharnarian Tree Tender is hoping to find a cure for all of the rabid bears throughout Darkshore. A sickness has been spreading throughout the land, and they've been getting hit the hardest of all. With a special trap that he's put together, we're able to pacify one of these bears long enough to bring it back to him, though it's not good news. You can tell by the bear turning invisible. Oh god, it could be anywhere. Although it saddens him greatly, the only way to curb this sickness is to destroy it. So he orders the death of 20 rabid bears. Bruh. 20? I need an adult. I mean, yeah, I'm an adult, but like, a more adult. I need help. 20 bears and several breakdowns later, we're absolutely going through it. Thankfully, the lads only got one more task for us to accomplish, and that's to kill the Den Mother. However, before going off to kill more bears, what if we, and hear me out here. What if we went and killed more bears? Just a different kind, of course. Like, instead of the four-legged kind, it's the two-legged kind. You see, not too far from this lad is Terenthus, who's also been looking into fell moss and stuff recently. The same stuff that caused all those problems with the Furbolg back in Teldrassil. He's been looking for more signs of it here in Darkshore, but has come up short when looking for anything that was more widespread. There's thankfully some Furbolg camps close to town here, so we'll start our investigation there. And wouldn't you know it, these lads are mad as fuck. Who could have foreseen this? Certainly not me. On top of being told to deal with these boys rather forcefully, Terenthus would also like us to relay this information off to Thunderous Windweaver, as he'll likely have some sort of plan to deal with this corruption. And he does, but first he'll need a sample of the water from the Cliffspring River to the north, as that's begun to turn rather foul and corrupted. With a vial, we grab a sample of the water and return it to Thunderous, who's absolutely disgusted by how putrid it is. Like, yeah, dude, now imagine swimming in it just to get a sample. You're welcome, by the way. Felwood seems to be the real source of this corruption, but since we're unable to do anything about that, we'll have to work with what we've got here. Locally, the source is likely from the Satyr and their talismans. We've got to lure them out and take this talisman away. And it's here that we find a friend to help us out after grabbing some lockboxes from some sunken ships. Meet Effrey, a little gnome friend of few words and even fewer fucks to give. They hit like a truck, and with them around, we're truly never in any danger at all. Until we are. Back to back, we take on the Denmuller and the nearby Satyr corrupting the local Furbolg lads. Immediately after, we charge into a Naga-filled cave to search for mushrooms for Barthra's Moonshade back in Aberdeen. He needs them for a potion, though the Grove of the Ancients had warned him against going inside due to a new evil hiding within. And yep, there's evil afoot. Speaking of cult shit, Sentinel Alyssa Starbreeze had also sent Balthul Shadowstrike up to the Tower of Althalax to check it out, but hasn't heard from him in some time. Well, I mean, we're up here, so we might as well, right? We find the lad hiding out behind a large boulder, and, you know, I like that boulder. That's a nice boulder. Anyways, he's been staying put here in fear that something might happen if he were to go away. Warlocks have taken up residence here, and he's unsure as to why. If we were to gather parchment from the bubs here, maybe Bagul can piece together what's going on. However, it's very important that you stay far, far away from this big old tower. Not that I'd know or anything, that'd be crazy. That'd be wild, and So this really isn't what you like to see. With how hard these lads hit, we were unironically one hit from dying. This game really just loves humbling me from time to time. Sobbing, shaking, and crying. We hand over our parchment to Bagul, and he figures that these lads are called the Cult of the Dark Strand. He's never heard of them, and neither have I, so we have absolutely no idea what they're even doing here. Great to see that aside from a name, we've gained absolutely nothing from this. He then hands us a letter to send to Delgrin the Purifier, stationed down in Ashenvale. Given that that's our next zone, we'll just hold on to that for now. After returning our mushrooms to Barthras, we're then pointed down towards Onu at the Grove of the Ancients. They'd like to seek our counsel on everything we'd seen up at the falls. And given that the Archdruid also wanted us to talk to Onu, it was only a matter of time before we ran on down in that direction. Onu finds it rather strange that the Naga are here, but even more so that the Twilight's Hammer is as well. They're a cult worshipping old gods that were defeated a long, long time ago. We're to look into the Master's Glaive nearby and see what we find. And directly in the center of this place, there's a big old lad impaled by a glaive. The Master's Glaive. Twilight boys are around everywhere down here, likely seeking whatever leftover power remains from this old lord's corpse. While down here searching for a book, we stumble across a dryad friend that had gotten surrounded by cultists but was luckily really good at hiding. Is she really though? We walk her on out, and while she's heading to Aberdeen herself, we're to tell her sister in Ashenvale that she's alright. But again, later. Back within the glaive, we find our Twilight tome upon a pedestal. Even just looking at it is maddening enough, and quickly we rip a page from the book so that we can bring it back to Onu. Though before we go back, there's something else that's very important that we must accomplish. So a fun thing about this little area here, there's a book that can drop from these lads that'll eventually start a quest to go into Black Fathom Deeps, our eventual first dungeon with Ari here. The fun bit is, this book isn't necessary to do the rest of the quest chain. However, if you're like us and want to 100% everything, it's incredibly necessary. Apparently, Wowhead's saying it's a 2% drop rate, but like, I don't know, man, this has always taken me ages to get every time I've done it. Surely this'll all be worth it in the end. Surely. Thanks to a friend from our guild in the area, we obliterate the camp at least 5 times over. Fuck, I kinda stopped counting after so long. When we finally find our book, we look through it to find many unpronounceable names, each with a string of foreboding titles, methods of worship, and preferred sacrifices. Many of which being living humanoid creatures. Within the inside cover, we find that it's from Bone Grip's Runes and Dooms within the Forlorn Cavern in Ironforge. Oh man, it's the same guy from that Misriel quest line. Can I just, ask how this guy's even allowed in the city? Like, they're just fine with cult shit going on here? Like, I mean, sure, he probably keeps it on the down low, but if this is the second time we've been brought here with cult shit that he's obviously a part of. Anyways, setting that to the side, we return our torn page out to Onu here, who recognizes that it's written in ancient elven text. The cult's likely using ancient elven magic to bring their old masters back. Next, we're pointed all the way to the northern edge of Darkshore to gather relics at the ruins of Mythistra, all so we can divine how they intend to exploit this magic exactly. Within these ruins, we find Naga everywhere, and they're really not too thrilled to see us. We also find a rare towards the back that's a bit above our level, but we love making questionable life decisions around here, so of course we have to fight them. And honestly, it's kinda huge because we got our first ring from them. You love to see it. Gathering our relics, we bring them on back to Onu, who then says, "Let's hope we can unlock the secrets of that place before our enemies." Is that it? There's just nothing else to... Okay.
One day and another day, ticked around and the floor shakes.
I'm gonna be so real with you here. I normally try to keep these things together anymore to keep quest lines coherent and whatnot, but there's just a whole lot of shit here that's just their own little things. So, time to just rapid fire through everything that's left at this point. Back when we first started Darkshore, Chief Archaeologist Grey Whisker in Darnassus wanted us to check up on his crew in Darkshore. He hasn't heard from them in weeks, and their recent discoveries in Cosmodon had proven that a great and powerful force threatens all of Azeroth. Ooh. Anyways, Archaeologist Holly informs us of Prospector Rem travel at their dig site to the south. They'd found evidence of a great society, but golems had forced them away. After dealing with those cultists at the glaive, we went on over with our friend to find your boy Rem Travel still just looking at the excavation site. He's constantly misplacing everything and mistaking us for Holly at every turn, really. The dementia's just setting in early. So we need to search this dig site for a mysterious fossil to send back up to Holly so that she can send it back on to Darnassus. When you're ready, we'll look for the brush. I mean, fossil. I'm fucking Russian now. Fuck it. We ball. Oh boy. For several minutes, we look through this entire camp, turning it upside down while also being hounded by golems and also some trogs that spring to life out of seemingly nowhere. Like, where were these bitches hiding? Only after searching the entire camp, Rem Travel remembers that this fossil we're looking for is already gone. Holly had already taken it back, so we just, did all of that for, bruh. Getting back to Holly, she's updated that Rem Travel's doing okay, and she hands us the fossil that she's had from the very beginning. I get that we were only really going down there to check up on the guy, but man, the lad back in Darnassus recognizes this fossil, saying that a lad named Flagongut had brought something similar back to Ironforge, believing that it had some sort of power that could be unlocked somehow. Flagongut is currently situated in Menethil, so we're just gonna go talk to him later. I don't want to do that yet. After helping Tarenthus with the furbogs and whatnot, he'd also now like us to help out Grimclaw, this friendly little bear here, and find his lost master, Volcor. They're currently trapped within a furbog cave, and we need to sneak our way in to get him out. Though to do so, we need some Night Stalker pelts, and not just any pelts, mind you. We need some from the beefiest lads in the area. And with them, he creates a cloak that'll allow us to sneak in to find Volcor in this cave. And there, we're given a choice. We either help him sneak out, or we fight our way out. And while initially I was inclined to sneak, fighting gives us a bit of a better item overall, so I guess we're choosing violence today. Not too far off, there's also a sentinel that's been poisoned by these lads. Together, we fight them off while they apply an antidote, and they too are sent on their way. While gathering the Mythistra relics, we'd also found a little gnome friend named Gelkak Gyromas. What a fucking first name, man. Greetings, I'm Gelkak. His ship had sunk, and he needs his first mate back in working order. However, the key to get him all started up again has been broken up into 3 pieces, and the local wildlife has taken them. In getting them all together, he repairs the key so that we can find the Threshwackinator and power him up again. And I was mildly scared of fighting this lad, as I know that he's gotten a bit of a body count. Like a kill count, not. Anyways, thanks to a warlock friend, this was absolutely trivialized since we showed the robot his greatest fears. I don't know, probably showed them like fucking Subnautica or something. Fuck Deepwater, man, you can't get me to play that shit. With only a handful of things left, we found Efri again to hit up the last few group quests that we have. Along the coast, there's a murloc named Murkdeep that's been wanted for destroying various ships and killing sentinels. After clearing their entire camp, we get the boy to reveal himself and utterly annihilate him. Oh my god, it's not even close, man. Our final thing awaiting us in Darkshore here is escorting a druid down into Ashenvale. Kerlonian Evershade needs to get down to Maestra's Post to meet with Ladris Moonriver. Those stopped along the way to take a nap at the grove here. While getting him down, we'll need to continually wake him up because he's got sleepy bitch disease, which, honestly same. And while you'd think that sticking to the road for something like this would be the smart thing, you'd actually be completely wrong. Not that we, learned that the hard way or anything. Lad straight up just falls over at the slightest inconvenience, my god. God, we really are just the same person, aren't we? But no, what's strangely safer is running straight through all of the camps and wildlife to get your boy to his destination. That way, we don't get jumped along the way. Which sounds very counterintuitive, but you know, whatever works, man. Shit. And now, as we enter Maestra's Post and begin turning everything in, we're more or less done with Darkshore. For now, at least. There's still stuff at the tower, but we're meant to return there at a much, higher level. Oh shit, we forgot about Bubba Gump. Lemon crab, shipperroot crab, and Ironforge surprise crab. And, I think that's about it. Oh, hello. Were you just talking that entire time? And now we're done with Darkshore. I'd also like to go ahead and apologize that this one took me a lot longer to make than the others. There's just been a lot of other things that I've been wanting to do a bit more than working on these. Though I would like to end on a question. Would you rather see Alex or Ari in the next episode here? Admittedly, I haven't recorded anything for the next episode yet, which is a first. While Alex is exciting because they are nearly level 60 at this point, Ari's also really fun because they just blow people up. So, who would you prefer? Regardless, I'm gonna have fun with it either way. They're both great. But for now, that'll be all here for today. Thanks again for watching this weird little series of mine. I appreciate you.